Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I have Toby with us this week. I'm super excited to share with you about this gentleman, who he is, what he does, and you guys are going to have some jam-packed value in this interview. So, with that said, Toby, I wanted to give you a big, warm welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Tony.
Awesome. Let's just kick it off with a one-word open. So, give us one word to describe how you're feeling in this moment, and we'll start it off that way.
At the moment, I feel very excited.
Excited. Perfect. So tell us about your business. Tell us that over 3 to 5 minutes. Give us a good high level overview about your business, how you got started, your experience. I know you worked at Microsoft, so you have some. I know you worked at some investment. You did some investment banking, all that good stuff. So share with us your background, how you started this business, where you're at today, and all that good stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, I have a engineering background, electrical engineering and operations engineering background. I started my first entrepreneurship startup when I was in college. Uh, Raised a little bit of money, ended up starting that business. It was in a web-based logistics type of company. And then I spent a couple years at Microsoft. Led a core team to build the first generation Microsoft Surface tablets. That was 2009, 2013. After that, I spent a little bit of time at the Wharton Business School. And then I ran a venture capital shop in San Francisco for about 7 years. The firm is called CRCM Ventures. And that business initially started with a team of two of my partners. And then ultimately, the team grew to a team of 28 people and across 4 offices in San Francisco, Hong Kong, Hangzhou, and Shanghai in China. And I started the most recent venture last year, around Q1 last year. It's called Shap Live, and this is a live stream shopping platform. And what it is essentially it's a marketplace, a creative marketplace for brands to interact with their audiences in a much more rich and engaging way. Brands can essentially use this marketplace as a new channel to go live, to kind of tell their story, to demo their products, and to interact with their audience in real time, and then be able to sell their products in real time. So we've been, actually the new company has been around for more than a year. We officially launched the product in September last year. And since then, we've had over 250 brands who have partnered with us, who joined our platform. And as part of our platform, we also have over 100 plus creators who join our platform. And creators are these folks who are kind of social media influencers and folks who have kind of a lot of kind of digital media experience and kind of brand storytelling experience, who join our platform to kind of partner with the brands to help tell their stories and share their products.
That's really awesome. Can you share with us a recent win that you had in business and also what you learned from it? So I want the audience to, have this good takeaway of, something that you consider a win and what you learned from it. That would be great.
Sure, sure, sure. Um, I think there's many, actually, as an entrepreneur, we tend to celebrate many small wins along the way. It's not a easy road. It's actually a pretty rocky path, if you will, for startup businesses. One of our most recent wins is a project that we did with a firm called Method. Method is one of the world's leading design firms. So we partnered with Method over the last like 3.5 months to really kind of redesign our product, improving a lot of our different kind of user flows, adding additional features, etc. And now we are super excited to announce that we're about to launch our version 3 of our product at the end of Q2. And that was it's a big win for our team, coming off that partnership with Method.
That's awesome. How about our failures? So let's talk about failure. So first of all, what does failure mean to you? And share with us something you had recently and what you learned from it.
Sure. Failure to me is it's essentially ways that something, we find out that just doesn't work, or isn't working, and also failures are learning opportunities. Um, I personally think it's okay to fail along the way. It's not okay to not learn from these failures. So one of the most recent ones, I think it has to do with kind of how we work with brand partners on our platform. And traditionally, we think about e-commerce as you have brands coming in and things are very transactional. Our business model is very simple. We take a percentage cut from every sale that's generated. And the whole relationship feels very transactional, right? So a brand, is situate themselves on your platform, and they generate sales, and you take a cut, and they just keeps going. But one thing that we learned is that it's not that simple. It's a longer term relationship. It's something that we have to build along over time to build trust with our brands, and also build trust with their audiences. So part of what we did is we provided a lot more incentives for brands. So we actually provided extra discounts to help with brands to help cover some of their marketing costs, and more kind of marketing push from the platform side to support every new brand who onboard with our platform, so that within those kind of early days to weeks, that the brands launch successfully on our platform, and they have a great experience, and they keep going and keep partnering with us. And that's something we kind of learn over time on how we can best support our brands through kind of our internal marketing, as well as kind of different incentives for brands.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. How about if you were to go back in time and you're running into yourself when you were 21 years old, and if you had 30 seconds to give yourself one piece of advice, what would you say to yourself when you were 21?
Yeah, really great question. I would tell myself not to take the Microsoft job. I think as I kind of reflect back on my career, I think the biggest moments of growth are the moments where I took risks, and essentially traded salary for opportunity, or traded salary for share of upside. Part of working for a big tech corporation, company of 300,000 people size, is that you tend to get comfortable really quickly. And something that I've seen is, folks I was working with were there for 17, 21 years. They're very comfortable. They were in a very, very great position, big brand company, etc. But that drive to kind of continue to grow, or the thrill seeking of new projects, or new things, was it kind of waned over time. And for me, I had to kind of really break out of that cycle. And the way I did it was to go to business school to look for inspiration. And if I were to kind of meet my 21-year-old self, I would really advise him to think deeply about joining a big tech firm, or just any big firm, before kind of consider other kind of more entrepreneurial alternatives, or alternatives where you might be able to join a smaller business, but a much more faster growing, faster pace opportunity.
Excellent. Now, whenever you're giving your talks, and whether it's with other peers, your employees, investors, friends, or an interview like this, what is that one question that you wish people would have asked you, or they should be asking you, but no one is ever asking that question? What would that question be, if you could share with us?
I think I think one thing that's really important to me is, so why am I doing this? Or like, what's my drive? You know, like, what do I hope to accomplish, I guess, in my career or personal life? This was actually a question. This is interesting enough that in college, our college and career counselors prepare everyone for, but it's also the least asked questions by companies. Um, I actually think it's very important, for companies to understand, their incoming employees' drives, etc. So to kind of answer this question, so for me personally, um, I really think about, earlier part of my career, right? I think about like I need to achieve certain things. I need to, make a certain amount of money. I need to take care of my family, etc. But as I kind of progressed and kind of worked on different things throughout my career, and now I can really use kind of the word impact to capture it. Um, and essentially, what I really kind of want to achieve out of all of this and beyond later on, whatever kind of business endeavor I take, is um, to kind of measure it by impact, positive impact that I have on people. It's not about kind of how much money a business can make. And don't get me wrong, businesses are there to make money. That's their core, like the purposes of the business. But I think a successful business is those that have really positively impacted, the customers, or positively impacted the people, the employees, the investors, the communities that the business, resides in, right? So, um, and to that extent, uh, part of what kind of my wife and I have really kind of pledged ourselves to is it's through kind of our, I guess, annual kind of contributions to charitable foundations and things like that, and different things that kind of we have kind of structured how we will contribute to get back to the community, get back to the world, no matter kind of what stage of life we're in, and what things we're doing. I'm always kind of thinking about that impact, and that's what truly drives me to do this and maybe more things down the road.
That's really great. Thanks for giving us an insight to who you are and what you stand for. Um, how could people find out more information? If you want to give out your website address, or if they want to follow up with this conversation, have some questions for you, how could they get in touch?
Yeah. So our website, it's www.shaplitlive.com, and you can kind of learn about how we work with brands, shop with us, and all of the exciting, cool, live events we have on a daily basis, or simply download our app on iOS and Android, and the app name is Lit Live, LITLIVE, on Google Play and Apple Store. We'd love to see more of folks on our app and discover great brands, products, and great deals.
Perfect. And if you could sign us off with a one-word close, Toby, what would that be and why?
Sure. Um, I think I'll go with the word impact. I think for the above reasons I mentioned earlier. Um, and especially during this time where the world hasn't been peaceful for the last few years. Whether it's the pandemic or geopolitical reasons or whatnot. We, as individuals, no matter kind of where we are in life, I think we should kind of strive um, to kind of help each other to be impactful in other people's lives, um, and to do kind of in our full capacity of what we can do to kind of alleviate some of these challenges, these issues that's happening in the world. So I would close this impact.
There you have it, folks. Thank you so much, Toby. Really appreciate your time. I appreciate the value that you've given us, and also a better understanding of who you are and also what your company does and your background. So I can't wait to have you back up here soon to continue this conversation. And until next time, Keep crushing it.
Great. Thanks so much, Tony, for having me. This is wonderful.
Of course.